Future Pathways Global Schools. When I hear the name Future, I'm so glad to see all the children here, because they are the future citizens, isn't it? They're all going to be the future citizens. And hi to everyone. Hello to everyone, to all our future leaders, I would say. Yes. So it's wonderful to see you all. And I know that you know. Do you know what I know? Well, okay. So I'm sure you know that I have taken a profession that was very rare in the old days, right? Because everyone said, I want to be, all my friends, they told me that I want to be an engineer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to probably be a pilot, I want to be an air hostess, and I want to be an artist, I want to be a musician, I want to be a dancer. But nobody said, I want to be a storyteller. So when I began, and I said, so somebody asked me in 1996, how many years ago that was? Can anyone just unmute and tell me how many years ago that was? If it was 1996, today we are in 2021. Yes, I think I heard Arul Jyoti saying something. Yes, Arul Jyoti. How many years ago was that? Oh, yes, from Samyukta. Very good. 25 years ago. So 25 years ago, everyone asked me, what are you going to do? And I said, you know what? I'm going to be a storyteller. And they said, what? Who's a storyteller? Well, everyone thought storyteller is only a person who tells stories, isn't it? And you know what? Before I became a storyteller, another 20 years ago, tell me now, from 1996, 20 years ago is what year? Can someone tell the answer? 45. Yeah, but from 1996, if you subtract 25, or let's say you subtract 20, 1976, very good. Okay, so now we'll go another 4 years ahead. 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, which is 5 years later. Okay. So around 1980, 81, I became a teacher. Now, everyone, there have been gurus all the time, and there have been teachers, right? So I became a teacher, and I became a teacher for whom, for kindergarten children, that is LKG, UKG. And they all said, auntie, auntie, they used to call me auntie then. Say, Geeta auntie, tell us the story of Lollipop. Tell me the story of Hansel and Gretel. Tell me the story of Mickey Mouse. So I said, okay, here I go. And then they told me, tell us some more stories of Parrot and Crow. So I told them, okay. So I told them the story of a squirrel. I told them the story of a monkey. I told them the story of, what is that? Yes, an elephant. Very good. I told them the story of a crocodile, right? And then I told them the story of, what's that? The lion. And then I brought some characters together and told them the story of a rabbit, peong, 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 and the tortoise. Yeah. And I used a lot of voice. I used a lot of modulation. Then I also told them the story of the snake and how the snake wanted to swallow. And I also told them, but the snakes are very nice creatures. They don't harm you unless you harm them, isn't it? So most animals, we all say, the tiger, the lion. But they are very nice animals because unlike human beings, they only kill when they are hungry. Otherwise, you'll see a lion or a tiger and you pass by them when their stomach is full and they don't harm you at all, isn't it? So I told them not all animals and not all birds are harmful. They are just like human beings. And I told them the story of how man was ungrateful, but the animals were very nice. And I told them also one story of how a tortoise, they say, slow and steady wins the race, isn't it? We all know that story. Once upon a time, there was a rabbit, and the rabbit said, let's have a race. And the rabbit and the tortoise had a race. And who won? We all know, right? The tortoise won the race. And then we told a moral saying, slow and steady wins the race. But you know what? Times are changing and we also have to change, isn't it? So there were many children in the class who were very slow. They were not, all of them were not intelligent. Aren't there children in your classes like that? Some of them are very weak. Some of them are not good in maths. Some of them can't count very well. Some of them can't write very well. So we have weakness and strength, isn't it? Some of us are good in some things. Some of us are very good at sports. And some of us are not very good at sports. Some of us are champions in basketball or football. And some of us are very good at singing. Some of us are very good in dance, isn't it? Yeah, Madhulika, very good. So you might be a very good singer. Sasaririka, sarika, sasaririka, gamama, ririga, gama, rigama. Not everyone can sing. Some of us are very good with dance. So each one of us have a strength. So I changed that story now. I said, once upon a time, there was a hare and there was a tortoise. And both were best friends because they both were in the jungle. So every day, pyong, 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 this rabbit would come and say,
Hello, how are you? I hope you're all doing well. What's up, dog? I love to eat carrots.
and the tortoise would answer, yeah, I'm fine, my friend. How are you? You know what the hare would do?
Hey, you have such a hard shell. So hard it is. It's so good, yeah. What do you do with such a big shell?
I go inside, I withdraw. I am so slow, my pal.
Oh, but I run very fast.
So all the friends, you know who are the friends? The monkey and the elephant and then the owl. All of them were listening and they said, why don't you both have a race? Now what happened? The hare said,
You know, I run very fast. I'm naturally very fast.
and I'm so slow. I'm sure you're going to win the race.
But let's have a race. No, let's be sportive. Because all our friends want a race. Let's have a race.
Both of them said, yes, we'll have a race. So on your marks, get set, go. And
Pyong, 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 pyong.
the rabbit ran really fast. But you know what? The rabbit that day had a problem. He had a little hurt in his leg. He was running and he could not run very fast. And his leg began to pain. And what did he do? He went under a beautiful bush. It was so shady. It was a hot day and his leg was paining so much. And he went and because he was so tired, he went to sleep. Now this tortoise, he said, oh, I wonder where the rabbit is gone, where my friend is. Let me keep walking. And as he walked, he looked this way and that way. And when he looked, he saw the rabbit sleeping. Now he knew that the rabbit was very fast. isn't it? And he said, I don't want to take advantage. I don't want to run the race and go first when the rabbit is not feeling well. It is not fair because he is my friend. So he went slowly and looked at the hare, the rabbit rather. And he woke up that rabbit. Shh.
And the rabbit said, what? Yeah, I'm so tired.
Come and sit on my back.
Oh, your shell is so tough.
That's why I'm telling you. Just sit like a chair.
Okay. Now the rabbit sat on the back of the shell of the tortoise. And now both of them put it.
The hare was sleeping and the tortoise was singing a song. When you're happy and you know you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know you clap your hands. And he was singing a jolly song. And he and the hare won the race together. So you see, this is a story I told them because I didn't want the children in the class to tell, hey, I won the race, shame, shame, shame to you. Because as I told you in the beginning, each one of us has a weakness and a strength, isn't it? Don't you think it's your duty to be friendly with everyone and to help all those who are weak? Don't you think? Instead of saying, hey, you're terrible, yeah, you're black, you're dark, you're horrible. Look at you, how thin you are. See, my mother, she sent me all lovely dishes. You don't have anything to eat. Cutty. Look at my pencil, better than your pencil. We do all this, isn't it? We don't care about our friends. What about the story of the hare and the tortoise where they were friendly? So what I wanted to tell you, children, is this is how I started my stories. And all the children in that class, they said, hey, this story is so good. It's so different. Because when I started the story, they all said, I know the story, I know the story, I know the story. I told them, I'm going to tell you the same story in a different way. So when I told them the story, they all loved it. And then the principal of that school came and said, what are you doing? I said, I'm telling them the story because I want them to learn a lot of things from the story. Like what? What do you think you can learn? What do you think you can learn? Someone put it on chat. What all can you learn from this story? Besides that, you have to be friendly with everyone. What is the color of the hare? Does he have a good shell? Does he have what the tortoise has? No. Yeah, learn good. Very good. Do you know that the tortoise lives the longest because it is slow? Because they say the tortoise is wise. Do you know what is wise? It means wisdom, right? It means wisdom. What is wisdom? Okay. How many of you have heard of King Solomon? Tell me how many of you have heard of King Solomon. Let's raise your hands. How many of you have heard of King Solomon? No one? Okay. So King Solomon was supposed to be a wise king, which means Buddhivantru. Okay. So King Solomon was so wise. Yeah, very good, Pradyum. Everyone has strength and weakness. Very good. So King Solomon was very wise. He spread a lot of wisdom. So one day he went walking into Egypt. In Egypt, you won't believe in those days, there were all golden temples. There was a temple for the sun god, for all of them, for every element, for air, for wind. And the people were very, 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 very rich. And that king of Egypt, he said, we are so rich. We are so powerful. We don't need any other person to come here. We have all the riches in the world. We are wise and intelligent. And that is when King Solomon entered that kingdom and he went looking around. And the king said, we don't need anyone. We don't need your advice. We don't need you because we are complete. And as he was telling this, he was showing King Solomon the beautiful gardens. And then he came near a beautiful pond which was smelling so good because there was a rose tree growing over that pond. And so, you know what this king of Egypt did? He took a cup and he dipped into that water and he told King Solomon, see, we are so full. We don't need you at all. And you know what happened? At that time, from that rose tree, one petal fell on that water. And King Solomon, may I? He said, he took the cup, he showed it to the king, and he said, I will be like this rose petal that will add perfume, that will add scent, that will add a lovely essence to your kingdom without disturbing your completeness. Isn't that wonderful? And that is what I call wisdom, right? Because he had the wisdom without disturbing how to add on to someone very subtly. So today we all have a problem, isn't it? We all have this COVID problem, isn't it? And we're all at home and we're all in front of the camera. We're all the time staring into that camera. Yeah. And we have to learn everything through this online medium. Yeah. And then sometimes you get bored. Ooh, because some of the lectures are boring also, no? When you listen to some people, it's quite boring, isn't it? Yeah. So you say, oh, I don't want to do that. Right. And then you have to sit and you have to stare at the screen. I don't know what she is going to tell. Why should I learn all the time? So how do I help myself? You know, yesterday I saw, I'm sure you all watch some YouTube and other links. Don't you watch? Yesterday night, I just switched on this National Geographic. Okay. And in that, I don't know how many of you have socially, you have no friends at all. So yesterday I said, I'm also bored. Every time I have to look and tell people on the screen what to do. Like, so I looked at I looked at this YouTube, and you know what? I saw one. Tell me who this creature is. Okay, this creature it's a little black and it is so tiny and it walks and it has something on its back. Does that, and it is very pokey on its back fully. It spreads like a coconut tree, like the leaves of a coconut tree. What animal is that? Yeah, very good, Pradyum. It is the porcupine. Very good. So this porcupine, two porcupines going kutu, 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 and one porcupine alone was going. And I saw, and this was a leopard and it had spots. And you know, the leopard runs the fastest. Do you know that? And porcupine is very slow. He can do even faster than a rocket. They say the speed of a leopard. Find out, okay, what is the speed of a leopard? It can just go so fast. And it will watch for 40 minutes, 50 minutes. And then it knows out of the herd of the deer which one to attack. And slowly it will come out and it will walk. And it will chase that deer, chase until it gets that deer. It will never give up. So this porcupine was going, and this leopard slowly was very confident. And the leopard is big, it is heavy, and it was about to attack. But it couldn't attack. You know why? Because every time he went to attack this porcupine shot all the spikes. The leopard came from the other side, and again, then he tried to see from behind. So every time the leopard wanted to go and eat and kill that porcupine, the porcupine shot. And what was happening, you know, that porcupine, because it shot every time leopard tried to attack, it got poked. And one poke, second poke, and third one, and fourth one. Now, unlike human beings, they don't shout or scream, no? But the leopard didn't want to give up. So he kept trying. Then he brought two more leopards. And all the three leopards tried to attack this little porcupine. But you know what? The porcupine, he didn't run. The porcupine didn't run. The porcupine did not do anything. He stayed there. Even though he was small, he was so confident. He just kept changing like that. He just kept turning. And And it started poking all the leopards. And finally, the leopards gave up and the porcupine went away. And you know what the leopards ended up doing? Taking all that had poked their backs. Just imagine that little porcupine was able to drive away 3 leopards. And none of the leopards could catch that porcupine. So it's not about big or small, isn't it? It's not about big or small. What was the quality that the porcupine had? It was very, very confident. It was very focused. You must have focus, isn't it? It was so sure that these leopards will not be able to kill it. It was so confident. Well, even though the leopards were focused, I think they were not focused enough because they had to give up in the end. Yes, very brave. But bravery, when you want to have courage, you have to have it only when you're focused. So don't lose your focus, my friends. Don't lose hope because it's all online. Have your focus. And you know what? What I enjoyed the most is that this little porcupine was teaching me a lesson, was inspiring me and saying that we don't have to give up, isn't it? So don't give up. Whatever goals you have, whatever you want, whatever lessons you're assigned, implement them. Go ahead and do your assignments. Be up to date and don't give up and never underestimate anyone. Very good. Arujoti, thank you for this. Never underestimate anyone. There is no big and small. There is no weak and strong. Respect everyone. Be happy and always give love to all your colleagues. Okay. So this is what I wanted to talk to you today. So that is what I did. I said, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to be a storyteller and I'm going to train a lot of people in storytelling. So for 25 years, I've only been telling stories. I've been training people. And you know what? You won't believe this. You know, when I was like you, I never used to travel anywhere, but I loved to see the places in the world. So I was like that tortoise. I was very slow, but I looked, I watched, and like the porcupine, I was very confident. And even though many people attacked and they said, no, you shouldn't be a storyteller. You cannot be a storyteller. I said, no, I will be a storyteller. So I was very focused. I wanted to implement my dream. So I traveled to 43 countries. Can you believe this? Everyone invited me. I went to Japan. I went to Sweden, I went to Poland, I went to Switzerland, I went to Europe, I went to Iceland, and then I went to Singapore, and then I went to Visakhapatnam, I went to Hyderabad, I went to 27 states in India, I went to Nagaland, and then I said, oh, I want to go to Sri Lanka, so I went to Sri Lanka. Then somebody said, where do you want to go? I said, Malaysia, so I went to Malaysia. Then somebody said, where do you want to go? I said, I want to go near the poles. So I went near the North Pole. I went near the South Pole. I went scuba diving. Can you believe all this that I did? And I told them stories under the sea. I told them the stories in the Himalayas. I told them the stories near the sea. And I enjoyed myself. There was a lot of hard work, but I loved my journey. And today I'm 64 years old and I still travel. And I still go around to places and I still tell lot of stories. Yeah, stories that people love to hear. Yeah, so don't you want to implement, don't you want to do something, but you know what? Be very focused. Okay, if you don't have focus, you lose out. So don't feel bored. Don't feel bored. Yeah, be happy. Be very happy. So when you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know, you snap your fingers. When you're happy and you know, you snap your fingers. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you snap your fingers. When you're happy and you know, you slap your thighs. When you're happy and you know, you slap your thighs. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you slap your thighs. When you're happy and you know, you say hello. Hello. Can I see all of you saying that? Yeah, very good. When you're happy and you know, you say hello. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you say hello. Great. When you're happy and you know, you say goodbye. When you're happy and you know, you say goodbye. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you say goodbye. Great. So I'm going to end the session here. I'm sure you all are going to take away two important things. One, always be brave and be confident. And the second thing, be very focused. And whatever you're doing, do it with your complete heart and soul. Okay? And remember, there is nobody who's weak and strong, because you must tap yourself and say, I am capable. Can I have everyone telling that? All of you tap your back. Say, I am capable. Can you say that? I am capable, right? I can. You'll say, I can. Can you not? Yes, I can. Very good. So I'm sure after 15 or 20 years, I am going to see Astik and Madhulika and Arul Jyoti and Kaira and Neha and Pratyum and Ritvik and Vihas all being great people in different fields, right? You're all going to, that time you remember, yes, I promised this auntie, this Geeta ma'am, that I will be something. Will you all be something, children? Thank you for being such beautiful listeners. Thank you so much.